Am I the only one that thought the teaser trailer for this movie back in 2002 was a trailer for a new Batman? Scooby-Dooby-Doo, directed by Raja Goshnell, a director of some unthinkable atrocities like the live-action Smurfs movies and Show Dogs, and is the first of the Raja Goshnell Scooby-Doo duology and the 2002 live-action adaptation of Hanna-Barbera's most iconic mascots, Scooby-Doo. And as well as the first ever live action attempt of the character to film. So Scooby-Doo tells the story of after Scooby and the gang break up and go their separate ways and do their own thing. They've moved on from the mystery solving, crime fighting days. However, this breakup is short-lived when they reunite unexpectedly to solve a new mystery on their hands, and people start going missing on Spooky Island, and at the same time, Shaggy at last meets his soulmate. Now, I mean, you now you I totally get why Scooby-Doo fans took offence from this movie back in the 2000s and thought it was a disgusting adaptation of the show. But thankfully now this movie has been getting more appreciation from the fan base, after the letdown that was Scoob back in May this year, as this at least feels like a Scooby-Doo movie. Unlike Scoob, this movie, for the most part, does nail the tone and actually has a legit mystery to it, and the characters, despite being in live action, perfectly fit the image of the characters from the show. And even better than that, this movie captures the characters' personalities flawlessly. I have always defended and dug this movie for the past 18 years. And Raja Goshnell, believe it or not, was the perfect guy for the job here. I know you Raja Goshnell haters think that that's ludicrous. I mean, I know people say there's no such thing as a good Raja Goshnell movie, but he made an actual decent Scooby-Doo movie, certainly the best one of the 21st century. At least this one, unlike his other live-action adaptations of cartoons, isn't so crude and or inappropriate. So it keeps the fun going constantly. I mean, the only inappropriate moment, which would be my one complaint with Scooby-Doo, was that shoehorned in a farts joke sequence with Shaggy and Scooby on live TV. I was like, Raja Goshnell, you were doing extremely well. I mean, why did you have to put that scene in there? But that aside, I uh, I laughed beyond belief at all the other gags, and yes, I even laughed at Scooby dressing in drag and the body switch scene, seeing Daphne. Seeing Fred enter Daphne's body and seeing Daphne enter Fred's body, I mean, it was just unlike this movie did a body switch scene correctly, unlike Shrek the First. Seeing Daphne react to a male body and seeing Fred react to being in a female body, it's just classic humour. And the CGI for Scooby-Doo and the CGI monsters that pop up throughout this movie. Sure, it I get it. It can't hold a candle to the revolutionary CGI character that was a Gollum in the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, which was released the exact same year as this movie. But I'm perfectly fine with that. It's a, I mean, this movie is live action, but it's also supposed to have a cartoon feel. So it being Scooby-Doo, Scooby himself looks awesome being animated and being a Great Dane dog that you are convinced is literally there with the live action actors and the CGI monsters. You know what they're supposed to be, fake projections. I give them a pass for looking fake. The movie doesn't bore us with an origin story of how the gang mess up. It cuts right to the chase by giving us an opening scene that literally tells an entire episode of the show, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You, in the first few minutes, where we see Daphne being the damsel who's constantly captured, Velma being the brains, Fred being the one with the plan, and Shaggy and Scooby being the live base, and the bad guy being unmasked and shouting, and I would have gotten away with it if you weren't for you meddling kids. And Shaggy even screams later in this movie, "Scooby-Doo, where are you?" But but the rest of this movie tells its own story. So it's achieved at being a love letter to the original show and its own standalone flick, and which is what Scoob failed spectacularly to do. And of all the cast members, Matt Linars does a phenomenally accurate impression of Shaggy that you are convinced that he was Shaggy's original voice actor from the 70s show. Linda Cardellini makes for a cute and proactive Velma. Freddie Prinze Jr. makes for a confident and dashing Fred. A true standout here is Sarah Michelle Gellar as Daphne. Sorry, Amanda Seyfried from Scoob, but Sarah Michelle Gellar is the only Daphne on film for me. I mean, Daphne in this movie, she has had enough of being the damsel in the plan. So she's like, I have transformed my body into a dangerous weapon. So they've made her into the most kick-ass character of the mystery gang here, and her karate fight scene with a henchman in the third act it may be the best scene in the entire movie. Sarah Michelle Gellar, mwah, you are my queen here. You're magnificent as Daphne, and Shaggy's girlfriend, Mary Jane, and I don't mean MJ from Spider-Man. I mean, it's I don't know why they called her Mary Jane, but it's played by Aisha Isha. Yeah, Aisha Isha she's glowing in this movie, and she has an adorable smile. The scene when she's sitting on the plane next to Shaggy and Scooby, but she's sneezing as she has an allergy to dogs. Led to some surprisingly good tension between Shaggy and Scooby. It doesn't force them to fall out like in Scoob. It naturally builds up to them having a disagreement. Like Scooby is worried that she is one of the creatures in disguise. But Shaggy is convinced that she's just a harmless girl who needs a soulmate. So and 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 Shaggy and Scooby aren't they don't hog all the screen time this time. The entire mystery gang, Daphne, Velma, and Fred, gets equal roles to play in the mystery, and even Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean himself, gets a role here. And believe it or not, I don't have a problem with Scrappy being revealed to be the villain at all. This may be the one Scooby-Doo movie that's bothered to include or mention Scrappy, and and sure there was one. Sure there was a flashback that included a pee joke with him, like when he urinates on Daphne, but that entirely fits Scrappy's character. He's a whiny kid who's irresponsible and gets up to mischief all the time. So, and he just longs for acceptance in the mystery gang. So you totally get his revenge plot on the mystery gang at the end. And overall, a Scooby-Doo 2002 is not only my favourite Scooby-Doo movie of the 21st century, but it's also my personal favourite of the two Raja Goshnell live action movies, and it's one that I will certainly be going back to this Halloween to take my mind off the mediocre Scoob.
I give Scooby-Doo 4 stars out of 5. Great movie.
A very happy belated mental health day 2020 to you all. I know it was yesterday, and it is extremely important to look after your mental health as well as your physical health, especially in a year like this one. Have a chilled pamper weekend and watch and sit down to your favourite movie. You deserve it. And I thought Scooby-Doo would be a particularly fun movie to review for this occasion. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what are your thoughts on Scooby-Doo 2002? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. And I'll see you next time. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.